Good morning everyone, welcome to Miranda Detailing. Today in this video we are detailing a 2011 Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution. The customer has put a lot of really nice performance parts into this, and we are going to be doing our paint correction service along with Gtechniq EXOv3 coating on this, as well as C4 on all the trim, and also coating on the wheels. We're going to use the EXOv3 on the wheels as well. So let's take a look and see what we're dealing with today. Now the roof of this is wrapped. As you can see, it does have some imperfections in it. We're going to see what we can do in reducing those with these types of vinyl wraps. You don't want to heavily compound them and generate any type of heat on them, but we'll see what we can do to correct that and make it look better. And as you can see, with it's a flat white paint. Kind of hard to capture the defects and the swirls in it, but it has a fair amount of swirling and some hologramming in it as well. So it also has some paint chips that we're going to try to restore, try to fix. There's quite a few of them, and the rims are really not in bad shape. We'll clean the insides, of course, and coat them. And we also have some white overspray. It's road paint, and it's actually splattered along the panel here as well. I don't know if the camera can pick up the little spots or not, but it does have some speckled overspray from that road paint. So we're going to see what we can do in removing as much of that as possible. And here are some of the stone chips. You can see them right away, right there, and here. So what you're seeing here is actually exhaust junk within the lettering, and we're going to see what we can do in trying to remove as much of that as possible. I might have to debadge it, which the customer is okay with, but I'd like to avoid that if possible, because that means you would have to reorder these and put them on. But I'm going to see what I can do to remove that. Okay, so we have this in for a few days. Let's get started. Ooh, these seats are comfy. They hug you. So the Mitsubishi is washed, it's decontaminated. As you saw, we use Iron X to remove those little iron particles, and you can really plainly see it with a white vehicle. And I don't always use Iron X when decontaminating. I usually just go with the clay bar, but in this instance he does have performance parts in this, and it puts off a lot of junk in the air, and the brakes also of course put out all of the metal particles in the air that need to be removed. So now we're going to clay bar the sides and the down below portions, because it has some overspray on it and it's pretty grungy down there. So I'm going to use the clay bar to clean up that whole area before we blow dry it and towel dry it. Okay, so let's look at the paint. And again, it's going to be kind of difficult to catch these imperfections because it is just white, but it does have some swirls. And we're going to do a test spot in a minute and see what we can do to correct those. When I was washing, I was pretty aggressive in here with the power washer on the plastic to try to blast off some of that paint, and it worked. I got a lot of it off. I'll see if I can continue with some solvent, with some lacquer thinner, and see if I can get rid of the rest of that overspray. It's really not overspray, it's just paint that was splattered when run over. But it was removed down the side of the vehicle. So now it's nice and smooth, can't feel anything, can't hear anything. It's perfect. The clay bar removed all of those little speckles. So let's do a test spot and see what we can do about correcting these swirls. So the defects are really hard to capture on this white. I have the lights going everywhere trying to capture them, but I think you can see the difference between the test spot that I just did and it still needs to be refined. A light polish will just get rid of any light marring that's in the paint, and really you don't see too much of it in white anyway, so it's going to refine out really, really nice. So let me tape a line down here on the hood where I think I have the best angle of light to show you a clear 50-50 difference. So that gives you a good idea of how the paint is coming out. The correction part is coming out really nice, it's clearing up, and we're going to continue this all around the vehicle. day one is complete. All the cutting is done. Tomorrow we will refine the paint and we will start to do some finishing touches like coating the wheels, cleaning all of the glass, and coating the windshield. And we're going to see if we can refine the top here. The roof is a vinyl wrap and it is swirled a little bit. I'm not going to heavily compound that. I'm going to try to do a one-step polish and try to get rid of as many defects as possible. So yesterday all the cutting was finished. Today we're going to polish, so we're going to refine the paint now. Really, it doesn't need much. The cutting left behind a little bit of hazing that you could barely see in the white paint. So the refining process should be a breeze. So we're going to work on the hood and make our way around the vehicle. Refining is now complete, so I'm going to do an IPA wipe down on all of the paint surfaces, and I already went through and did an IPA wipe down on all of the black textured plastics. That's why I have the windshield wipers up. Of course, I polished the glass in IPA. That also I'm going to coat that after I IPA wipe down all of the paint. Then I'm going to do some paint touch-up. So I have a few spots that I'm going to attack here. Some of these spots up in the front and a few in the back are so bad that they were already touched up before, but it was really heavy on there, and I tried to wet sand it down a little bit, which it helped. It flattened it out a little bit, but there's so many of them peppered throughout the hood that I really couldn't attack it and wet sand all of it. I didn't want to remove that much clear coat. Let's continue with our IPA wipe down and then we'll go on to the paint touch-up. So I'm going to show you a few of the spots that I'm going to touch up with my favorite little touch-up pen. These major ones in the front here I can't do much with because they've already been touched up. And the paint is so heavy on there, I'm not going to bother with those. But there are a few other ones that definitely need some filling, and we'll go around and show you those first and then show you how we touch them up. Okay, trim coating time. So we are going to use Gtechniq C4 for all of the trim. So this is it right here. And all of the trim is wiped down with an IPA solution and ready to go. So let's coat the trim. Alright, paint coating time. Wheels are done. Trim is done. So brand new microfibers that I will use, one for the initial wipe and then one for the final wipe. Probably use more than just these two. Usually halfway around the car I switch out and get new ones. These ones will have residual coating on them, so I throw them in a bucket with some Dawn soap. I'll reuse these for other jobs. I won't use them for coatings again. I always use brand new towels and brand new applicator. I like to use these little microfiber applicators because it spreads the product really nice and evenly, and you can really grab a hold of it. I don't like those little tiny ones that you really can't grab a hold of very well. So let's begin with the paint coating. The Lancer is complete. Everything is coated, the windshield, the paint, the wheels, all the plastics. It is ready to go, so it's going to sit overnight, cure, and we'll be good to go tomorrow. So let's take a look at the paint. Mitsubishi is done. If you've enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with others who may enjoy it. If you have any questions and comments, please put them down below. And if you haven't already, subscribe and hit that bell. That way you get a notification each time our videos drop. We'll see you next time. Have a great day.
Now.